people are going to. One thing I've noticed, and I watch a lot of stuff on like General Motors and all these different car manufacturers, is the automation is so fascinating now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is just unreal how vehicles made.
Yeah.
And watch how that the bed of a truck will be way over here, and it's married. They call it married to a fender that's plumb on the other side of the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those two go together.
Yeah.
And then I was watching too, like they showed how they were making the cars, and they were. The colors are not just random, like they said, let's make some blue ones and make some red ones, that they were ordered specifically, and this fender was already painted to match this bumper and this hood and this stuff, and they come together, and I watch a motor come out of the ceiling and go down in these cars, and gee whiz.
Yeah, I feel like I got in there and got out at a good time, because the robots and the automation were taking over.
Right.
I mean, jobs were dropping, because I remember at one point, probably in the late 70s, early 80s, when the plant I worked in, there was 9,000 people in there on 3 shifts, working full, 3 shifts. And I think by the time I retired, there was only about a little over 3,000 people in the whole plant. And, I started out in the paint department, spraying paint, and you do one color and you turn around with your spray gun and pop that hose off and take another hose and pop it on there and spray the next color, And so the robots do all that now, and they got people that teach the robots, and that would have been a good job to go to. But once the robot has got its program set up,
I watch the blemishes. Like if they have a car and they have a blemish on that car, okay, when it comes back through, that person inspects it, and then they don't repaint it. They'll buff out the blemish or buff out the things like that.
I worked in that area too.
That was fascinating. When I look at that, I think, I don't know, man, the way they sock the seats in them and the windshields and it's just if a person, and so much of that stuff now we can watch on YouTube and places, and I think it's just I get hooked on that stuff, okay? Automation, things like it. I got hooked a while back watching garbage dumps, landfills. Yeah. That's the most fascinating thing I'd ever seen. They showed us fascinating, these trucks would line up, Dan. They'd line up like, 300-400 trucks in the mornings waiting on the landfill to open. Wow. And at night on the landfill, they would take it. I know it ain't interesting a lot of people, but my Dwayne King says I'm full of useless information. But then they come out with these dozers, and they'll have these 200-foot wide tarpaulins, and they cover the landfill at night to keep any moisture out of it. Oh. And then they come back, and then they start bringing those trucks in. Then they come through a scanner to make sure they don't have any hazardous material. Those trucks, they'll come through those scanners, and it's so much more than what you think, Huh. And I've got now where I can recognize an old landfill when I'm driving down the road. The other day I come to a place, and I was with my daughter, and I said, that big hill up there. She said, yep, used to be a landfill. I said, that's what I was getting ready to say. I can tell. Look at that stuff. But automation, and we can try to, I don't know, some people get upset with automation. It's coming. It's here. What do you mean? Yeah. Henry Ford started it. Yeah. I mean, it's all there. Yeah. We have to have it, but I mean, I don't know. We talk a lot about AI, and we use it a lot. I use it a tremendous amount.